Hello everyone and welcome back to the Brightworks and another match of Beyond All Reason, which is the name of this game. I feel like I should point out or clarify because I have gotten a couple of comments of people asking what this game is. A lot of people have pointed out that it's a total annihilation lookalike, and you'd be right. It definitely follows that same vein. Beyond All Reason is the name of this game, and it's completely free to play. A little bit of an ad right here for the game in case you're interested. And I sure do hope you join. It's a lot of fun. Today, spawning as the red team leader on Erebos Lake, it's going to be none other than the Armada commander that goes by the name of Scarecrow 100. Scarecrow 100, clocking in at 31 open skill here. Going to be going up against our blue team leader, well known around the Brightworks. It's Reed Sweet. Reed Sweet going to be playing as a Cortex commander here, playing as a bot lab as well. Going to be going into some of those Cortex spots. We've got the thugs, we've got the grunts, we've got the aggravators, and I'm sure we'll see them all. As well, of course, as those constructors and those grave robbers. Very important, and one of the best reasons to go for bots, of course, is because you get that reclaim. There's a lot of good reclaim available on this map. There's plenty of trees and cacti and all sorts of other stuff, peyotes as well, all sorts of cool things. Fun stuff to reclaim, and also, of course, chock full of energy, which means that you can get things like, for instance, geothermals up really, really aggressively using reclaim power instead of having to build up the energy infrastructure to build the geothermal, and then once you build energy infrastructure to build a geothermal, you no longer need the energy infrastructure, so you have to reclaim it. It becomes a whole mess. So it's a lot more convenient if you can just fund the whole thing off of the plants and trees and other useless crap on the world to get that production up and running. Dot going to be playing as the Naval player here. Big pants to fill right here for Dot. Going to be playing up against the green commander, the cyan green commander Panini Pie. 29 open skill here for Panini Pie, up against 30 here for Dot. Going to be a beautiful match right here as we see a couple of gunboats going out for both of these players. We do have a constructor moving forward to grab the metal extractors. It's great to see. We're going to have a torpedo launcher over here as well. I think that makes a lot of sense. Locking down that naval lane and making sure that you only really have to fight on one lane. Very, very useful. Now there's a couple of strategies that commanders can go for here. One of which is to move the commander forward, try and claim this island right here, but sometimes what we'll see is another commander will be transported forward to go capture that island instead. And I wouldn't mind seeing that, especially out of, for instance, someone in the backline right here, like Scarecrow 100, who is effectively going to have the job of making sure that Dot has a good time today. Yeah. With the divine purpose, the blessed purpose of making sure that the yellow commander, at the very least, has some T2 units to upgrade these metal extractors and get everything nice and well constructed. Looks like Scarecrow is going to march forward onto this island. Looks like Dot is going to as well. All right, so two commanders pushing forward right now. We do have an LLT to guard this side over here, but we're out of power. Oh no, LLT without power means that the brown commander very narrowly manages to deal with that little run by of a single grunt coming forward. DP 007, our brown commander here for the red team, needs to get a move on. Luckily, these grunts were poorly microed right there. If they had been able to avoid this LLT, if they had just gone to the base instead of running into the LLT and the commander, they certainly would have been able to do plenty of damage. DP 007 not paying attention to his commander's orders here. Scarecrow 100 trying desperately to tell him where to try and hold, but he's not heeding that advice, and that's a dangerous moment right here for the red team, certainly. This is what I was talking about. Icarus here, flying as the name might suggest with the transport in order to get the commander up on this high ground here. Going to capture these 3.1 metal extractors, obviously very valuable. Getting those 3.1s up and running in time is probably one of the best things you can do in order to boost your economy here, and I wouldn't even mind seeing them handed over to the naval player. Navy commanders obviously stall for metal quite hard, if you can manage to deal with that. Saving your naval player from stalling, running out of metal, certainly well worth it. Single rover in the backline causing issues right here. It's a rover for Mecha Obama, who has managed to blast down a couple of mexes. One of them will be resurrected here. That's actually really nice. Yeah, Hemorrhoid. Horrible, horrible name, but playing this wonderfully. You're going to resurrect that metal extractor, hopefully handing it over to Panini Pie. There we go. The Mex is handed over right there, and that's well and good. Means you effectively lose nothing when you resurrect something like that. LLT is going to stop the red commander from pushing forward right here. But we do have two commanders up and running, right? So this commander can only be in one place to block the D-gun from the red commander at a time. You two commanders pushing forward, you of course can go ahead and pull it out of position and D-gun down some of those LLTs. Another thing, another strategy that works as well is you can actually double build LLTs and you can force it up if a single LLT is firing at it, right? So what I mean by that is the red commander could start an LLT in range of this other LLT right here for Icarus. Pardon me. Then if both commanders are building it, then it won't be able to out DPS both those commanders at the same time. We have a couple frigates right here for Panini Pie, making a little bit of a mess on this northern side. Trying to show a little bit of aggression, but not wanting to commit too hard to it, just in case there's enemy forces elsewhere on the map. And Dot in a nice position here. Oh, you can imagine the D-gun could be killer. Oh, the D-gun could be really killer. Dot not paying attention. Ah. Those frigates will get away with it. If it weren't for you meddling kids, I think Dot would have been able to get that D-gun, but not the case. And the Yellow Commander is forced up onto this high ground to grab these 3.1 metal extractors. Icarus now going for a bot lab up here. Interesting, very interesting. Instead of going for air or anything like that in the backline over here, we've just gone ahead and gone for a forward bot lab. Yeah, okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all, actually. I think it's probably a worthwhile use of metal. You can see a lot of metal being sent around here as well. Most of it back to the Green Commander so we can get this T2 metal extractor up and running. We're about on time for a T2 mechs. Wouldn't mind seeing this Commander sacrificed over here just so we can pump out those T2 constructors immediately. Get a T2 constructor up and running, get a T2 mechs up and running. That kind of jump starts your whole T2 transition, and you end up in a T2 era very quickly. Pardon me, they're clearing my throat. Had a lovely, lovely dinner of stuffed shells. Delicious. Economy, mostly wind turbine and energy converter based over here in the backline for the Red Commander. No such hopes of any sort of T2 though, so the team is going to be on their own. I don't know if anybody's realized it yet. Yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a foreplanning error from the Red team, not realizing, hey, wait a second. We need to make sure that somebody's thinking about getting up to T2 eventually. Pardon me, taking a sip of my water here. Ah. Agua fresca keeps the casts fresh. Scarecrow looking to hug of death Icarus here. Yeah, these commanders will embrace the sweet, sweet recombination and obliterate. Leaving behind two very juicy wreckages right there. Dot is going to be quick to try and jump on top of that. There is a bunch of aggravators up and running. Not the scariest thing in the world. Certainly counterable right here. All the commander has to do is D-gun down that laboratory, and this should be all well and good. There we go. Constructor falls here as well. Rocketeer or aggravators accidentally shooting themselves. Not the end of the world. Panini by asking for the transport in order to move the commander up to the high ground here. Not a bad idea. Oh, D-gun catches a couple of those aggravators. The aggravators trying to stall for time here while Dot is trying to reclaim. It's a tricky dance. Oh, D-gun on the transport, D-gun on the transport. Oh, he gets it. But the commander still goes down. Oh, with Dot such low HP, the commander goes down right there despite the commander being in the transport. That is incredibly, incredibly dense metal right there. Everybody on the red team, you can see, immediately starts pinging this to go reclaim it. We need commanders deployed here fast. Luckily, Reed Sweet is in position for the blue team. Gonna go start eating up that 5,000 metal worth of commanders lying on the floor right there. My goodness. That's a tremendous benefit to whosoever manages to reclaim those, and it means that Reed Sweet has all the metal in the world to essentially go directly into T2 if so chosen. There we go. We do have a forward T2 lab set up right next to this geothermal, and he's going to start building those T2 units immediately. Wouldn't mind seeing T2 mexes coming up and all that sort of stuff. We can afford it with all this metal on the field. No reason why we shouldn't be able to reclaim all of this. Turn it into a massive advantage. That's 4 commanders worth of wreckage going back to the blue team leader. Definitely not where the red team wants to put it. Mecha Obama trying to get over there as well, but already one of the corpses is completely eaten and the second one is underway. And of course, the blue commander can always D-gun these wrecks in case they need to destroy them, cut and run. T2 lab is up and running and the T2 constructor is out, and now we're building all those T2 mexes. Wouldn't even mind seeing more production here. A second constructor, some twitchers, all that good stuff. We need to blow that metal somehow. Wouldn't mind seeing it put down on the field. 2 wreckages eaten at this point. Resweet going for a third. Mecha Obama coming in for the save. That LLT going to be a little bit dissuasive here. Yeah, Mecha Obama forced to turn around at this point. We need to D-gun that LLT right here. The forces for Dot are looking menacing. Tons and tons of frigates. Mecha Obama. Getting greedy. Getting greedy, wants to try and get some of that. Reed Sweet not going to have it. Going to just D-gun down that wreckage here, making sure that no more of it is ever stolen. Reed Sweet in a little bit of trouble here, though. Needs to cloak the commander. Oh, no cloak on that commander means it will go down. You know what? Mecha Obama now suddenly in position to eat up that commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commanders going down right here in this center island, a hotly contested battlefield. Definitely where all eyes should be so far. Oh, Barto in the Southern Sea is an interesting decision. Working out well, actually. Those destroyers shelling away from quite far. Medium tanks also having a great time. Yeah, blasting through whatever they can. Janus helping out here as well. And the LLT defenses have fallen. There's a single thug left in defensive position over here. I think it's about to explode as those Janus twin missiles do collide with it. And just like that, SK-10 is forced into retreat. Partially because we're upgrading the economy right now. So we've got T2 mexes coming up and online. We almost have a T2 lab queued up as well. Wind turbines, all that good stuff, all coming up one after another. Mech Obama. Finally going to start eating this very juicy metal reclaim. Means we should see a T2 lab coming up right here for the pink commander. T2 labs anywhere. It does look like the red commander did get a T2 lab up and running. That's Scarecrow 100. Gonna pump out a couple of Butler here to actually build a bunch of wind turbines. Don't mind it. Butler's very good for building wind turbines. It's one of the ways that Armada can scale their eco really efficiently. On maps that have good wind speed, you can just build 100 wind turbines with the Butlers. They have enough build power to build them fairly efficiently. And it means, of course, that you can get some pretty phenomenal trades. Purple commander went down on this northern side here, missed the commander kill, but we can see the wreckages. It's absorbed by the resbots right here from the tank commander Zoidy, and nicely done at that. Now making these Rocketeer trades a little bit less appealing. Mauser coming out on the front line. And Mauser are pretty good. Definitely good enough to blast away the T1, that's for sure. As soon as these Mausers start to trade efficiently, it's going to be really difficult for the team commander to push forward at this point. We do have a T2 lab coming up and running. You know what we could do is reclaim some of these units. I hope we do. Yeah, I'd love to see some of these units reclaimed right here. The maces, basically all the damaged units you can reclaim. Hold on, let's see just how much metal all that is. Yeah, about 600 metal or so. Helps you pump out the first couple of those units. Very, very useful. Orange commander on the land over here, starting to degun down whatever we can. We've got a couple of gunships up in the air. Interesting. We need a response from somebody in the air. The Maroon commander is the air player for the blue team. Asking for transport in the back over here. I do believe that Dot has officially won this naval battle. We need only take one more naval engagement, one more good naval engagement. And this should be a decisive victory right here for the yellow commander. A lot of these units are low HP though. We need some res subs under there as well. Yeah, it looks like Dot is on top of it, builds a whole bunch of res subs and send them over to the front line. Keeping those in position is so critical. We do have some ducks rolling out though, yeah. The blue commander has had plenty of time, Reed has plenty of time to just continue scaling the eco. You can see so many metal extractors have been claimed right here. We've got multiple squads upgrading metal extractors all at the same time. It means there's been a leisurely effort to push forward the economy right here for the blue commander, and that means that we can just continue applying pressure left, right, and center. And Mauser out for the tank commander, shut down very violently by the lightning tank Jaguars right here. Beautifully done. Leaving those wreckages for the reclamation as a couple of those resbots do start to clean up that 1.3 thousand metal right there. All it really takes is a radar jammer, a radar, and enough lightning tanks to keep everything safe. And the purple Mauser should be able to win this fight handily. Tech's running forward. Just as good of scouting, if not better, than anything else. Shell shockers now firing away at Wakayam. The Lavender commander trying to set up torpedo launchers here. And the frigate army actually pulled out of position right there. Nicely done. Yeah, the orange commander threatening just to move that army out of position. Luckily, the ducks are here to start firing away. They're not going to be able to kill most of these frigates, not before they hit land or hit this army over here. But they're certainly going to be able to do some serious damage. And the problem I have with this is we need the res subs reclaiming all this. There's so much metal available for the reclaim right here. But the yellow commander just doesn't have a great way of spending it. I don't know if I like this fight. I'm not entirely sure about it. Build power goes down and it means production is going to fall right here. As long as build power goes down, it does mean the green commander is effectively out of the naval fight. At least for the time being. Why are we not producing boats? There we go. Finally, frigates. I say that as if I don't suffer from the exact same ABM stall. As Vanasha was very quick to point out in my own gameplay. Yeah, those boat stalls can be lethal. I think we need more energy production here. Wouldn't mind seeing tons more tidal generators set up all over the place, or even just paying a backliner for their fusion reactors, or geothermal, any of that in order to make that more efficient. Rattlesnake, or no, pardon me, not rattlesnakes, persecutors, the Cortex rattlesnakes, coming up on the high grounds here just to make sure that all this is nicely dealt with. Destroyers having a decent time blasting away at some of these leftover frigates. This base is left in ruin. We are starting up more build power right here, but it is definitely a mess. All this could be cleaned up by a couple of res subs, but we do need to be careful with these destroyers. They'll take down res subs in the blink of an eye. Destroyer is the only real threat to the ducks at the moment. I think mass destroyer is going to be what the yellow commander wants. It's going to be what the yellow commander craves. I've been thinking about that movie a lot recently. Spybot goes down over here, maybe it's a spy tank, either way. Falls over here on the right-hand side. We do have lightning tanks jumping forward at this point. Hound army from the red commander, Scarecrow 100, sent up north here to try and defend. Not sure if this is the best place to be spending the APM, but I suppose we... Oh, it's just static defense over here. Yeah, okay, so then making sure that those units are microed properly doesn't... It's not the end of the world here. And of course, we can always go ahead and use this T2 constructor to upgrade the economy. Indeed, we will. Gonna go for a fusion reactor. Some T1E converters here using the butlers is interesting. Planning on just staying in T1 economy, going for those space inefficient but fairly uncostly E converters. Remember, they cost 1 metal and a couple, I think 1,000 energy or so. Means the cost to build them is essentially free. But they do take up a massive space, and obviously they're very prone to bombing. Not that the T2 ones aren't, but wider surface area means more chance a stray bomb from a random bomber does come across and ruin your economy. Very difficult to reset that economy once it's been popped. Res subs are available, and you know what? The build power has been restored here quite nicely, and I want to say... I want to see, despite all that fight here, Panini Pie is actually not in a terrible position. We've got the T2 mexes up and running, which is really a huge advantage. It's bizarre to me that these mexes weren't upgraded right here. Yeah, the yellow commander not requesting a T2 constructor, or one way or another not getting these T2 mexes up and running, is a huge failure on the economic part. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 economy that could be up to 40. There we go. Upgrade when you guys can, please. That's exactly what I would like to see. 40 metal per second, instead of 10 is what you'd be getting. It's what the green commander is getting. Here, we can just verify that on their metal extractors, aside from this one, which actually isn't pumping out metal, so 32 metal per second is still gargantuan. And the construction turrets are repairing all the boats over here. Nicely done. Destroyers being resurrected. Frigates, destroyers, all that good stuff. Yeah, suddenly our window is collapsing. I think we need to send more frigates across. We need to keep applying the pressure right here before these res subs can make the difference. I'm starting to suspect that this is going to turn around right here for the blue team on the naval field. Despite the red team having overwhelming control over these metal extractors in the middle, it doesn't help so much if suddenly you find yourself without any boats to protect them all. Sheldon's going up against Bulls over here. I think there's plenty of room for those Sheldons to waddle backwards and just whittle this tank down. That is the superpower of the Sheldon, is its relatively high mobility. Relative, of course, to its ability to deal damage. Destroyers not bad against those Bulls either. Blitzes, yeah, I want to say those don't directly counter the Bull, but at the very least they they can catch up to it. Armies building all over the place. Everybody getting ready for that epic late game. Maybe closer to a mid game at this point. No aggression on the Navy, but this push over here on the right-hand side is continuing ahead as planned. Radar jammer bot keeping everything nice and well cloaked, and the ticks running forward, providing the vision to allow those arbiters to fire away. Always nice to see that happening. One of the best compositions in the world. Sheldon Arbiter Sumo. Very, very similar in power to what I would consider Welder Hound. You have plenty of forces on the front, and then of course you have the Hound in the back to deal serious damage. And then, of course, you have sharpshooters to blast away heavier targets, whereas Cortex has the, Cortex has the Arbiter. Sharpshooter's quite a bit better against units, though. The Arbiter mostly just effective against static units or defenses. Commander. Oh, Commander has snuck its way through. Oh, no. El Barto has snuck his way through the seas and into the bases over here, trying to dive around. I don't think this commander is going to be able to achieve too much. Somebody's drawing all over the commander. Barto's dipping and diving and trying to dodge all of that firepower. He's got the right idea to go sideways, trying to move parallel with the shots, but it won't matter. That orange commander goes down, unable to do hardly any damage to anybody in the backline over here. Right on cue, T3 is starting up right here. Well, starting up. Very, very loosely starting up. We're 9% of the way through, and no close guesstimate on when that lab will be up and running. But we are planning for T3. A couple Marauders have been built right here from the red commander, getting ready to try and force this game back in the other direction. We have Zoidy actually losing the fronts here. Yeah, we need lightning tanks. Mass lightning tanks shuts this entire composition, this entire spam push down really, really nicely. A couple of beamer turrets would do effectively the same thing, and the console can build those. In fact, that's the default turret that the console can build is the beamer turret, medium laser turret. Really effective against spams because it has such a high fire rate and such a high turn rate that it effectively never misses. That's what you want against fast light units like the Grunt, the Pawn, the Tick, any of that sort of thing. Rovers and Rascals in there too. And Grunt's breaking through. Not sure why we're building Mauser. Yeah, Mauser is the wrong decision here. We've just got a repeat command going, but I think Jaguar tanks would shut this down. I think Mauser are a serious failure. T3 marching across the map. The Green Commander Hemorrhoid did actually notice these. Nicely done to ping those. Will there be virtually any response though? Oh, that APHIS is almost completed. 96% of the way done. And the Marauder are headed directly towards it. Oh no, I think I know exactly where this is going. Marauder have figured out where they want to go. They're going to pop the E-converters here. 99. 1 second. Oh, and the APHIS comes up and online. Oh, this could just be brutal. One moment, Retweet is celebrating the completion of his newest technological innovation, the Advanced Fusion Reactor. And in the very next second, boom goes the base of the Blue Commander, who just completed that very, very precious Eco Center and is now rewarded with Rex and Ruin. Nothing left of the base but the ancient debris of the Advanced Fusion Reactor that just went up and running. Beautifully done right there, and going to be more than enough to help shut down that spam over on this left-hand side. We do have the Advanced Fusion, or the Advanced Geothermal, pardon me, but that was 3,000 energy down the drain, and just like that, the blue economy has crumbled. Look at this resurrected army, my goodness. Given so much time to rebuild, and Panini Buy has ran away with it. It's the difference those T2 metal extractors make. They really do let you pump out way more boats. The Yellow Commander going for T2. I don't think it's going to be out in time, though. T2 mexes are slowly coming up right now. We've just about finished the third one. This Navy is looking to get aggressive, though. Looking immediately to get aggressive. We've got a force to try and fight it back. We need to stall for this Despot to come out. The Despot is really, truly the only hope here. It does have immense range. It packs a wallop against T1. Whoa, nuclear missile right in the middle of this entire composition. Oh my goodness, I didn't even see it until the corner of my eye. What a beautiful nuclear launch right there. Who sent that nuke? Oh, it's the Orange Commander right there. 38 kills, wiped out that entire composition. Oh my goodness, that was a beautiful nuclear missile right in the middle of the green composition. That was easily several thousand metal down the drain. Lightning tanks now pushing through this side over here. What a beautiful, beautiful tactical nuclear launch right there. Oh my goodness. The yellow player was dead without a doubt if we didn't see that nuke connect, and it landed in just about the biggest way possible. Lightning tanks have ravaged the base over here of Wakam. Commander goes down in base, and those bulls are going to be quick to disassemble everything else. And now this T2 Navy is more than happy to push forward right here. We've got the Buccaneers for depth charge clearing. We've got the Marauders keeping clear the T1 area over here. The T1 spam over here, trying to clean as much of that up as possible. T1 spams have been rapidly reduced to atoms. EMP bombers. Oh, there we go. Trying to stun these tanks. EMP bombers considerably worse than they once were. Probably a valid nerf. Probably a balanced nerf. But considerably worse. Oh my goodness. I just realized, too, the Green Commander that was commanding the Navy tapped out of the game. Understandably so. What a brutal way to lose your entire Navy like that. Devastating. The exact reason why you always keep an anti-nuke ship right next to your Navy. That, and they provide massive vision range, vision and radar. But aside from that, my goodness. Still reveling at that nuke. What a really, really good launch right there. Defense is over on the right-hand side, managing to hold against the spam of T1 tanks, but the Yellow Commander is going in for the kill shot. It feels like the blue team has lost their steam, like they've run out of power right here as one nuke and one Marauder push, and every little run by has mounted so convincingly. Shipyard in a lot of danger right here. Finally, it does fall, and that Despot is quick to move forward. blasting down anything it can find. It's rapid heavy laser fire, rapid heavy laser turret up there, high energy laser, firing away whatever it can. But of course, it's Gauss cannon, also quite powerful. Now going to start shelling away at the beachheads over here. Still a couple of metal extractors available. Definitely dangerous though. Marauders looking for an opportunity. Hesitant to push forward over here. There are a couple of Razorbacks pushing forward on the northern side. Should be spotted by these ticks right here from Zoidy. Yep, I suspect we did indeed see these Razorbacks, so we're going to detect them coming in. Zoidy has the opportunity to degun them. There's no radar detection over here or anything, so we do have a commander that could cloak and degun them. Zoidy not paying attention. There we go. Cloak is issued. Commander should stealth itself, and there we go. Commander now in position to degun those, and those Razorbacks effectively cannot push any further forward. Mass Shuriken over here to stop the spam. Alright, not the end of the world. Centurion's actually coming out to try and shut down that spam as well. I actually don't mind it. I think Centurions make a lot of sense here. A good T1 solution to a T1 or T2 problem. I guess that much spam really would have to be funded by a T2. Another nuke is launched, but anti-nuke is up in the air to intercept it. There goes that beautiful ballistic missile. And right in midair, boom, goes that nuclear collision. Beautifully done. Razorback's having a great time blasting apart this T1 chaff. Marauder sprinting forward, following the trail of grunts to try and figure out where this is all coming from. And the geothermal is caught in the crossfire. Geothermal detonates, takes down all the Marauder alongside it, but also takes out all of the production. Shutting down the entire production center there for Retweet. The purple commander moves in quickly as soon as the blue commander decides to throw the towel. Shuriken being such a nuisance. Sumos were pushing forward right here, but they've been completely disabled by all the Shuriken up in the air. What I'd like to see from these Shuriken is just a big move command and then a big fight command right towards the center. Generally speaking, that'll paralyze everything appropriately. Doesn't matter so much though, as long as you have the volume of forces. Lightning tanks trying to push forward right now too, and you can smell the desperation in the blue team's movements here. My goodness, those bullets just evaporated the lightning tanks. Beamer turret again, ranking up kills left, right, and center. Razorback here to protect the beamer turret too. Razorbacks moving forward. Yeah, they've been largely ignored, moving into the base over here. EMP bomber trying desperately. Build power in trouble. EMP bomber slacking in its duties. Trying to EMP this Razorback. Having a really hard time with it though. What on earth? Apparently this EMP bomber has turned coat and is now a traitor. Yeah, no longer willing to bomb. And indeed nobody else is willing to fight on, as overwhelming pressure has crushed 1 and 2 bases alike. With the naval victory won, it was only a matter of time. And with that beautiful, beautiful nuclear connection over here in the high seas, wiping out easily, I want to say upwards of 8,000 metal worth of T1 boats. It'll be the red team who comes back in this game beyond all reason. Beautifully played by everyone on it. Lovely, lovely stuff. Thanks a ton for watching, and I sure hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like and subscribe and all that good stuff down below. Subscribing more important than liking, because you can always dislike the video too in case you're interested in it. The results are in, and disliking and liking have exactly the same effect in case you happen to be curious about that. But anyways, I sure hope to see you in the very next game, and I will, until then, wish you the very best of days. See you later, folks.